Mount Hermon, known in Arabic as Jabal el-Sheikh or the Mountain of the Chief, stands like a silent snow-capped giant over the Levant. Towering over 2,800 meters, it's the highest point in the region, a natural fortress that crosses the borders of Syria, Lebanon, and the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. Its strategic value cannot be overstated. Those who control its peaks can deeply monitor movements in neighboring territories. This geographical advantage has made it a focal point of conflict and military interest for decades, but its name points to a much deeper, more ancient story. In some traditions, the Hebrew root of Hermon is linked to the word for curse or anathema, a chilling echo of a sacred oath broken on its slopes millennia ago, setting in motion a chain of events that would forever alter the course of humanity. Recent history has only deepened the mountain's mystery. Following the collapse of Bashar al-Assad's regime in Syria in late 2024, the strategic landscape dramatically shifted. Seizing the opportunity, Israeli forces occupied the Syrian side of Mount Hermon, securing control over a critical buffer zone previously monitored by the United Nations. In early 2025, Israeli officials, including Defense Minister Yisrael Katz, explicitly declared this military presence permanent, stating, "We will not leave Hermon." This bold move wasn't just a military maneuver. It marked the beginning of a new chapter in the mountain's long and enigmatic history, as news soon emerged of intensive archaeological excavations and research activities launched in the newly controlled areas. These modern digs fuel a fire of speculation that has burned for centuries, linking the mountain to some of humanity's oldest stories of divine intervention and forbidden knowledge. The primary narrative comes from the ancient and non-canonical Book of Enoch, revered in some Jewish and early Christian traditions. According to this book, on the summit of Mount Hermon, 200 divine beings, known as the Watchers, descended from the heavens. Led by an angel named Semjaza, they made a pact, a fateful oath, to defy God's law by taking human women as wives. This transgression was not merely about lust, it was an act of rebellion that unleashed forbidden secrets upon the world. The knowledge shared by the Watchers was both a gift and a curse. They taught humanity the art of warfare, how to forge swords and shields, the secrets of making jewelry and cosmetics. More significantly, they revealed the hidden arts of sorcery, the interpretation of signs, the knowledge of herbs for magical potions, and the mysteries of the stars and constellations. This sudden influx of celestial wisdom corrupted humanity, leading to widespread violence and chaos. The offspring of these unions were the Nephilim, a race of savage giants who devoured the earth's resources and attacked humankind. The story culminates in divine judgment. God sends the great flood to cleanse the world and imprisons the rebellious Watchers in darkness until the final judgment. The story of fallen angels sharing forbidden knowledge with mortals isn't just found in the Book of Enoch. In Islamic tradition, there's a fascinating parallel that revolves around the figures of Harut and Marut. These two angels are mentioned by name in the Quran, specifically in Surah Al-Baqarah, the 2nd chapter. The Quranic verse says they were sent to Babylon as a test and taught people magic. However, their teachings came with a strict and clear warning. They would tell anyone who came to learn from them, "We are only a trial, so do not disbelieve." This key detail creates a fundamental difference from the Watchers' rebellion. Harut and Marut were acting under divine command, serving as a test of faith for humanity rather than going against God's will. However, extra-Quranic Islamic folklore and Jewish narratives weave a much more detailed and dramatic story that strongly echoes the Watchers' legend. In these stories, Harut and Marut are shown as angels who, after seeing humanity's sins, boasted that they would do better if sent to Earth. God took them at their word and down they went, only to fall to human desires. The most popular version of this legend involves a beautiful woman named Zora. The angels, captivated by her beauty, tried to seduce her, but she refused unless they revealed Ism-i-Azam, God's secret great name, which would allow her to ascend to the heavens. They taught her the name, and she immediately used it to rise into the sky, where she transformed into the planet Venus. For their sins, giving in to earthly temptation and revealing a divine secret, Harut and Marut were given a choice between an earthly punishment or one in the afterlife. They chose the first. According to these traditions, they were condemned to be hung upside down in a cave or a well in Babylon, to be tortured there until the day of judgment. From this hanging position they continue to teach magic to those who seek them out, forever bound to their role as a test for humanity. the tale of seduction, forbidden knowledge, and eternal punishment, draws a strong connection between their story and the fate of the rebellious Watchers. The geographic link brings these legends together on the slopes of Mount Hermon. While the Quran places their story in Babylon, many regional myths and esoteric traditions point to a specific, hidden cave near Damascus, in the shadow of the Great Mountain, as the place where Harut and Marut are imprisoned. This belief directly links Islamic folklore to the very place where the Watchers made their fateful agreements. It's this combination of myths that suggests Israel's current activities on the mountain might not just be strategic. The theory suggests they are searching for this legendary cave, not for the angels themselves, but for the source of the forbidden knowledge they were tasked with teaching, the same celestial secrets the Watchers once gave to humanity. The search for forbidden knowledge on Mount Hermon isn't just about the fallen angels. Another powerful and lasting legend draws a direct line to King Solomon, one of history's wisest and most powerful figures. King Solomon's riches were legendary, but the true treasure was never seen as just gold and jewels. The real prize was his amazing wisdom from God, which let him control spirits, understand animal languages, and master secret knowledge. This wisdom was said to be written in holy books and kept in powerful items, like his famous seal, which gave him power over both the earthly and spiritual worlds. Some theories say that King Solomon didn't keep all these powerful items and scrolls in his famous temple in Jerusalem. Fearing they might fall into the wrong hands, he supposedly hid parts of his secret library and power objects in various hidden spots across his kingdom. Mount Hermon, already full of supernatural knowledge and at the very northern edge of his influence, would have been a logical and symbolic choice for such a hidden place. Israel's current digs, like the huge tunnel operations under Jerusalem, are believed to be part of a long search to find these lost items, not just for their historical value, but for the power they are said to hold. This hunt for ancient secrets takes on a more modern science fiction feel when we look at the story of the Watchers from a different angle. Supporters of ancient astronaut theories see striking similarities between the stories of the fallen angels and the Anunnaki in Sumerian myths. According to translations of ancient Sumerian clay tablets, the Anunnaki were powerful beings who came to Earth from the heavens. They are thought to have genetically engineered the human race to serve as workers, and taught early civilizations the basics of farming, astronomy, building, and working with metals. This story mirrors the tale of the Watchers sharing forbidden knowledge with surprising accuracy. In this view, the angels or gods in ancient texts weren't supernatural beings, but flesh and blood aliens from a more advanced civilization. The forbidden knowledge they shared wasn't magic, but advanced science and technology. Mount Hermon, then, wasn't a place of divine rebellion but a landing site, a mission control center for these visitors from another world. The Nephilim weren't evil giants, but perhaps the results of early genetic experiments. This theory suggests that Israel's strong interest in the mountain might be a search for remnants of this alien technology, a crashed ship, or a data archive left behind by these ancient visitors, which could give an unimaginable leap in science and power. The layers of myth, history, and modern geopolitics surrounding Mount Hermon create a web of intrigue that's almost impossible to untangle. Every theory, whether it talks about fallen angels, a king's hidden wisdom, or visitors from other planets, points to one exciting idea: that the mountain holds a huge amount of power and lost knowledge. Israel's recent military actions and the start of intense archaeological digs have only made these old beliefs stronger. For many people watching, these actions aren't just about national safety, they also confirm that something truly amazing is being secretly looked for on these sacred and mysterious slopes. The way these different stories all come together at one place is what makes Mount Hermon so special. It's a place where the Watchers from the Book of Enoch, Harut, and Marut from the Quran, the secret treasures of King Solomon, and the Anunnaki from Sumerian legends all meet. Is it possible that all of these are just different cultural ways of describing one big event that happened long, long ago? Was there a time in ancient history when so much important knowledge was shared that it was written down as the work of gods, angels, or visitors from the stars? The answer might be buried deep under the mountain's rocks and ice. Even though some people might say these connections are just a coincidence or a wild mix of old myths, the mystery still pulls us in strongly. The search for answers isn't just happening in quiet groups who study old secrets. Now it's supposedly continuing with the drilling and digging tools of a modern country. The mountain has kept its secrets safe for thousands of years. Every scoop of dirt removed could just be dirt, or it could reveal a text, an artifact, or a piece of technology that proves even the wildest of these theories true, changing how we understand the past and our place in the universe. Today, as of October 14, 2025, the snows on Mount Hermon continue to melt and refreeze with the seasons, covering and uncovering the ancient landscape. Underneath the surface, activities continue with military secrecy. We're left with more questions than answers. What exactly is Israel so determined to find? Are they chasing the ghosts of fallen angels, the lost treasures of a biblical king, or the technological remains of an alien civilization? Maybe they're looking for all of it, or none of it. For now, the quiet top of the Chief's Mountain keeps its secret, and the mystery lives on. Hope to see you in another mystery, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.